if that is, and it is, the foundation of an identity that has been built on over generations now,
Yes.
it's so deeply ingrained and embedded within individuals and within society, within Palestinian society, how do you overthrow that?
First, by making it clear that this is the goal. That is, we're not even there yet. We're not even there, and this is what I try to do in my writing and my speaking, to really get people to focus that the issue is this identity and ideology that is all about rejection. So step one is to even realize that this is the issue. That again, it's not about land, not about settlements, not about, it's like that all of these issues are not at the core. So first it's to really understand what's at the core. Once you understand that, then you can open the important struggle to bring that ideology to an end. And ideologies, people often ask, can you really kill or push ideologies to the margins? And I tell people, we do that all the time. This is what humans do. We defeat ideologies, we marginalize ideologies, we replace them with new ideas. So then people say, fine, but can you do it with violence? And I tell people, we also have a history of that. That's what we did with Nazi Germany. That's what we did with Imperial Japan. We made it clear, by the way, through violence, that their ideology is an ideology of destruction that will only ever bring ruin. And when they had to realize that there's a connection of cause and effect, that their choice to be Nazis, that their choice to have this imperial supremacist Japanese vision led them to ruin, then they were able to forge a new path that said, okay, we're leaving that behind. Palestinianism has to go through the same process to realize that the destruction and ruin in Gaza is the logical outcome of their choice, and it's a choice, over a century to devote themselves tragically, not to build for themselves, but to destroy others. If you have an ideology of destruction, it will only ever breed destruction. And if you do the first part well, making it clear that this ideology has to be defeated. If you do the second part well, mobilizing, that's why I've, removing the fuel of Palestinianism. That's why I've devoted so much of my time to UNRWA. UNRWA is fueling station number 1 of Palestinianism. Remove that fuel, remove that support. Then you can turn to countries in the Gulf and tell them, look, you are now doing something remarkable. You are now forging an Arab and Muslim identity that no longer has the need for the scapegoat of the Jews are to blame. You no longer need a scapegoat from your failures because you're no longer failing. To use the colorful language of the American president, I always say that anti-Zionism is the ideology of losers. It's the ideology of failed societies that need scapegoats, that need to blame someone. You're now having Arab and Muslim societies that are successful. They're forging a successful path for a modern Arab and Muslim identity. It's not a coincidence that those are the same societies that are letting go of anti-Zionism. They no longer need the conspiracies, the scapegoat, because again, they're not failing. So then we can turn to them if we do step 1 and step 2 well and tell them, look, can you help the Arabs of the West Bank of Gaza to no longer be Palestinianists, to forge a positive Arab identity that wants to build next to the Jewish state rather than instead of it? And the thing is this, I actually suspect that if we stop trying shortcuts and we finally have the kind of the patience to go the long route of defeating Palestinianism, I actually suspect that this will happen quicker than all the years that we tried shortcuts.